And all of a sudden this window opened up where I was safe, I had money, he loved my children. It wasn't something he feared. He seemed to be comfortable with the enormity of the ex-husband. I mean, you know, I felt like I was not coming with baggage. I had trunks.
Celebrity relationships always seem so perfect from the outside, but Demi Moore just gave us a glimpse into the messy reality behind hers with Ashton Kutcher. She revealed how, behind the perfect image, she felt manipulated and betrayed by Ashton Kutcher. How does trust shatter in a relationship that looked flawless to the outside world? Fans are now asking, were there warning signs we all missed, or was the whole thing just a carefully crafted illusion? The Hollywood power couple that wasn't. Back in 2003, Hollywood found itself buzzing about a love story that no one saw coming. Demi Moore, a 40-year-old superstar with decades of experience, and Ashton Kutcher, a 25-year-old rising star known for his comedic charm, stepped into the spotlight together. Their 15-year age gap? That became the headline, the conversation, and for many, the source of doubt. But for Demi and Ashton, it was simple. They were in love, and they didn't care who had something to say about it. Their whirlwind romance felt like something straight out of a Hollywood script. So how did they go from breaking boundaries to breaking apart? They looked like the perfect example of opposites attracting, but behind closed doors, it was a whole different story. Their love story began in the most casual of ways, a dinner with friends. But what started as a friendly meal quickly turned into a romance that gripped the public. They seemed to have it all: chemistry, charm, and a shared sense of humor. Their relationship wasn't just about them, though. Demi had 3 daughters from her marriage to Bruce Willis, Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah, and it seemed like Ashton was all in. He wasn't just her younger boyfriend, he stepped into a stepfather role with ease. But what happens when everything looks picture perfect on the outside? Well, that's often when the cracks begin to show. By the time they were married in 2005, it felt like they were unstoppable. Their intimate wedding at their Beverly Hills home was the stuff of dreams, small, personal, and full of love. Together, they painted the picture of a modern, unconventional fairy tale. Whether they were walking the red carpet or sharing funny moments on social media, the pair seemed like the perfect match. Even skeptics started to believe they might actually make it. They were charming, they were glamorous, and they weren't afraid to laugh at themselves, like when Demi humorously played up their age difference during Ashton's appearance on Saturday Night Live. But behind the scenes, things weren't as flawless as they seemed. In Demi's memoir, Inside Out, she revealed moments that shattered the polished image of their relationship. The couple had experimented with threesomes, something Demi said she agreed to out of love and wanting to keep Ashton happy. But this decision, one she deeply regretted, became a justification for Ashton's infidelity. What happens when boundaries are blurred in a relationship? Sometimes trust becomes the casualty. It wasn't just infidelity that strained their marriage. Demi opened up about the heartbreak of losing a pregnancy 6 months in. She was 42 at the time, and the loss took a heavy toll on her. That grief, combined with the pressures of being in the spotlight, sent her down a dark path. She relapsed into alcohol abuse, trying to numb the pain that kept piling on. One moment stood out in her memory, a trip to Mexico where she passed out in a hot tub. Instead of support, Demi recalled Ashton showing her a photo of her with her head against the toilet, an act she described as shaming rather than caring. Sometimes what hurts the most isn't what someone does, but what they don't do when you need them most. As the cracks deepened, their marriage eventually broke apart. In 2011, they separated, and by 2013, their divorce was finalized. Ashton moved on and married Mila Kunis, starting a new chapter in his life. Demi, on the other hand, focused on rebuilding herself. Despite everything, Ashton has maintained a relationship with Demi's daughters, which speaks to the complicated ties that linger even after love fades. Demi and Ashton's story might have started like a fairy tale, but it became a cautionary tale instead. On the surface, they had everything: love, success, and a seemingly perfect, blended family. But beneath the glamour was a relationship grappling with betrayal, loss, and unmet needs. It's a reminder that even Hollywood's most captivating romances can hide the deepest cracks. So was it ever as perfect as it seemed? Or was it just another case of love getting lost in the glare of the spotlight? The downfall. What really happened between them? Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher's relationship started like the ultimate Hollywood dream. In 2003, they met at a casual dinner with friends, and despite the 16-year age gap, their connection was immediate. Everyone was talking about the couple that no one saw coming. Ashton, a rising star known for his boyish charm, and Demi, a Hollywood powerhouse with an established career and family, seemed like a match that defied expectations. They blended their lives seamlessly, with Ashton stepping into the role of stepfather to Demi's 3 daughters from her previous marriage to Bruce Willis. On the surface, they were a modern family breaking stereotypes and doing it with style, but not all that glitters is gold. Behind the glossy red carpet appearances and magazine covers, cracks were forming in their seemingly picture-perfect union. In her memoir Inside Out, Demi opens up about the choices they made to keep their relationship exciting, one of which was introducing threesomes into their marriage. She admitted that her intentions stemmed from wanting to appear fun and adventurous, but this decision ended up blurring boundaries. What seemed like an effort to strengthen their bond ended up backfiring, creating confusion and mistrust between them. Things took an even darker turn when allegations of Ashton's infidelity surfaced. In 2011, Sarah Leal publicly claimed she had a fling with Ashton during a weekend in San Diego on the very night of Demi and Ashton's wedding anniversary. For Demi, the revelation was like a gut punch, and what made it worse was how she found out. A Google alert on her phone exposed the story to her in the most brutal way. She later shared that Ashton justified his actions by blaming the choices they'd made together, including bringing others into their relationship. It wasn't just the betrayal that stung, it was the way the lines had been crossed and twisted. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, it did. As their marriage unraveled, Demi faced battles of her own. After over 2 decades of sobriety, she relapsed into alcohol use. One incident in Mexico stands out where Demi passed out after drinking too much. Ashton's reaction? Instead of offering support, he showed her a photo he had taken of her slumped against a toilet as if to shame her. This moment, she revealed, felt like a harsh reminder of how disconnected they had become. It wasn't just a failing marriage, it was a personal low point for Demi, who felt isolated and defeated. By 2011, the couple separated and their divorce was finalized in 2013. The fairy tale had officially turned into a cautionary tale. Demi's memoir doesn't hold back on exposing the pain and heartbreak that came with trying to maintain their relationship while also navigating personal struggles. It serves as a reminder that even in the spotlight, where everything looks perfect, the reality can be much more complicated. Demi's candid revelations forced fans to see their seemingly glamorous relationship in a new light. What started as a whirlwind romance ended as a sobering story about trust, boundaries, and the cost of sacrificing authenticity in a relationship. For all the love and laughter they once shared, their story became one of loss, heartbreak, and lessons learned the hard way. Demi's shocking claims. Demi Moore's memoir Inside Out has been a powerful and revealing look into her tumultuous relationship with Ashton Kutcher. It's not just a tale of Hollywood romance gone wrong, it's packed with shocking details and claims that have left many people reeling. What she has revealed about her marriage with Ashton has not only changed the public's view of their once idyllic union, but has also shaken the foundation of Ashton's image as the golden boy of Hollywood. And let's be real, what she said is far more than just a typical breakup story. In her book, Demi opens up about more than just the highs and lows of their relationship. She delves into what she describes as manipulation on Ashton's part, an element that paints a different picture of him than the world once saw. Demi claims that he would make her feel guilty for things she didn't do and that there was a constant imbalance in their relationship. She reveals how he used emotional tactics to keep control while she struggled to keep up with the facade of their perfect marriage. And really, this is not the image that was presented to the public. They were the couple everyone thought could do no wrong. Their age gap, their charm, it all seemed so perfect. But behind the scenes, things were a different story. Then came the bombshell, the infidelity. In the book, Demi drops a truth that hits like a punch to the gut. She shares how she found out about Ashton's affair with Sarah Leal in 2011, not through him, but through a Google alert on her phone, Can you even imagine? The person you love, your partner and everything who promised loyalty, is out there betraying you, and you find out through a search engine? Demi writes about how devastated she was. And while the world watched Ashton go on about his business, pretending everything was fine, Demi was reeling in the face of that betrayal. Worse yet, she says that the way Ashton justified his affair was by claiming that the threesomes they had shared earlier in their marriage blurred the lines of what was acceptable. If you thought things couldn't get worse, wait until you hear what Demi just said. It's enough to make anyone's jaw drop. But the allegations don't stop there. Demi reveals her struggles with addiction during the marriage and how she was fighting demons that only got worse as their relationship unraveled. She recalls a particularly devastating incident in Mexico where, after a binge drinking session, she passed out in a hot tub. Instead of offering comfort or support, Demi says Ashton took a picture of her slumped over the toilet, resting her head on it, and showed it to her. The point is, who does that? It's hard to believe that someone who claimed to love you would take a moment of weakness and turn it into something to shame you with. The public response to these revelations has been overwhelming. For years, Ashton Kutcher was seen as this quirky, lovable star who had it all: good looks, success, and the perfect marriage to Demi Moore. He was even the face of a smart, tech-savvy entrepreneur. But Demi's memoir has cast a new shadow on that image, one that many are now questioning. The allegations of manipulation, infidelity, and emotional neglect have forced people to reconsider everything they thought they knew about the Hollywood heartthrob. And while some have rallied to his defense, others feel that the truth she's revealed is hard to ignore. So what does this all mean for Ashton's public image? There's no denying that Demi's words have left an indelible mark. The media and fans alike have been dissecting her every word, with many people now seeing Ashton in a different light. What was once seen as a fairy tale romance is now tainted by these deeply personal admissions. For Demi, sharing her story is clearly a form of healing, a way for her to reclaim her narrative after years of silence. But for Ashton, the fallout from this memoir has been a rough ride, with his once stellar reputation now facing some serious damage. In the end, what Demi's memoir really does is pull back the curtain on a marriage that, from the outside, looked perfect but was actually filled with lies, manipulation, and emotional turmoil. The truth, as Demi's powerful account shows, is far messier than any of us ever imagined. And as the pieces of this shattered relationship continue to fall into place, the impact of Demi's revelations will likely be felt for a long time. Whether it's Ashton's public persona or Demi's own journey toward healing, these words have changed everything. Demi's memoir has shaken up a lot of people, and naturally everyone's wondering, how has Ashton Kutcher responded? Did he try to explain himself, or has he stayed silent? Let's take a closer look at how he's handled the fallout from Demi's shocking claims and what it means for his public image. How Ashton Kutcher responded or didn't. When Demi Moore released her memoir, Inside Out, the world was bracing for juicy details about her roller coaster life in Hollywood, but no one expected the bombshells she dropped about her marriage to Ashton Kutcher. Her revelations sent shockwaves through the public, shedding light on the turmoil and cracks behind their seemingly perfect relationship. Yet, in the wake of her claims, Ashton's response, or rather his lack of response, has been a story in itself. How does a man whose image is that of a tech mogul and philanthropist respond to such personal accusations? The silence spoke volumes, but it also raised questions. Ashton's first reaction was to retreat into his own world. In a January 2023 interview with Esquire, he confessed his frustration with the media frenzy that followed the memoir's release. "I'd finally gotten to a place where the press had really laid off me and Mila and my life and my family," he said, adding, "and then this thing comes out and it's like, f***ing pissed." While his words hinted at anger, the lack of a more direct response left much to be desired. So why didn't he fire back? Was it out of respect for his privacy, or was there more beneath the surface? Kutcher's choice to remain silent in the face of such personal allegations wasn't a one-off decision. Over the years, he's made it clear that he prefers to keep his family matters far from the public eye. In another interview, he defended his right to privacy, stating, "My wife and I have chosen a career where we're in the public light, but my kids have not. So I think they have the right to choose that." His consistent stance on family privacy explains his silence. But still, when personal attacks are made against you, is silence always golden? Despite his reticence in addressing the claims head-on, Ashton has remained busy with his other pursuits, particularly in the tech world. He co-founded Thorn, an organization aimed at combating human trafficking and child sexual exploitation, and has been a vocal advocate for the cause. In his role, he stated, "We build software to fight human trafficking and the sexual exploitation of children," making it clear that his focus is on creating positive change. But here's the catch. His public persona as a philanthropist has been complicated. When his support of Dani Masterson, a convicted rapist, came under fire in 2023, Kutcher faced intense backlash. He and his wife, Mila Kunis, had written letters of support for Masterson, a move that sparked outrage and forced him to step down as chairman of Thorn. In a public apology, Ashton said, "I've learned the hard way that a good intention can lead to a bad outcome," acknowledging the pain caused by the situation. This mishap in his philanthropic career showed just how fragile his public image could be, especially when it contradicted his earlier positions. The incident brought attention to how tightly public figures must navigate between personal mistakes and professional responsibilities. It also added fuel to the fire regarding his relationship with Moore and the media scrutiny that followed. So what does all this tell us about Ashton Kutcher's character and how he handles public controversy? His silence in response to Moore's claims might be his way of avoiding further drama, choosing instead to focus on his tech ventures and his family. But the fallout from his involvement with Masterson shows that even a well-crafted public image can falter. While Ashton may have chosen not to engage directly with the personal claims made by his ex-wife, his other actions have ensured that the conversation about him remains far from over. Whether he chooses to publicly address the past or let it fade into the background, the damage to his reputation has already been done, one way or another. The aftermath of a broken fairy tale. The aftermath of Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher's split has been anything but quiet. Since their divorce in 2013, both of their lives have unfolded in unexpected ways, with public perception playing a major role in how they've moved on. Their relationship, once the epitome of Hollywood glamour, has left a lasting impression, and how they've dealt with the fallout is just as captivating as the marriage itself. So what happened after the dust settled? For Demi, the challenges of her personal life became public fodder, but she's shown remarkable resilience. She's taken steps to rebuild her career, and her ability to embrace vulnerability has turned her into a symbol of strength for many. Despite the heartbreak of her marriage falling apart, Demi has continued to shine in Hollywood with several new projects that have caught the public's eye. She's also been vocal about her struggles with addiction and the deep sense of loss she experienced during her marriage. All of this, coupled with her ongoing journey to self-healing, has created a new, more grounded public image for the actress. But what about Ashton? His career, at least from the outside, seemed unaffected for a while. In fact, he's found success in a completely different industry. His ventures in tech, especially with his investment firm, A-Grade Investments, and his advocacy for social causes, have painted him as an influential figure in Silicon Valley. However, while his entrepreneurial ventures have flourished, his personal life has remained more complicated. Ashton's reputation was shaken after his involvement in supporting Dani Masterson during his legal battles, a controversy that led to his resignation from his nonprofit, Thorn. How much of his public persona has been affected? It's hard to ignore that the once beloved actor has faced significant scrutiny, especially when juxtaposed against his previous roles as the charming star of That 70s Show and 2.5 Men. Despite these setbacks, Ashton has managed to maintain a presence in the media. He continues to be involved in multiple business ventures, and his family life with Mila Kunis has provided a steady stream of positive press. However, some have speculated that the shadows of his past relationship with Demi still loom over him. He's been mostly silent when it comes to addressing the breakdown of his marriage, which has led to an air of mystery around his true feelings on the matter. Is silence his way of moving on, or does it suggest unresolved issues? It's a question that lingers in the background of his otherwise smooth public persona. Demi, on the other hand, hasn't been as quiet. Her public discussions of personal growth and healing have been incredibly honest. Over the years, she's opened up about her struggles with addiction, the role of fame in her life, and the pain of her failed marriages. It seems she's learned to embrace her flaws and transform them into power. Her life after Ashton has been about taking control, not just of her career, but of her narrative. As she continues to redefine herself, many admire her journey, seeing it as an example of how one can emerge stronger from the most painful of experiences. So, where do they stand now? Demi has proven time and time again that she is capable of thriving in the face of adversity. As her career gains new momentum, she's quickly become an advocate for self-empowerment. Meanwhile, Ashton's public image, while still mostly positive, remains tied to his past and the controversies that have followed him. Yet the personal and professional choices they've made over the years show a contrast. While Demi has laid her vulnerabilities bare, allowing people to see her flaws as part of her growth, Ashton's efforts to keep his private life private have made him a more distant figure to the public. In the end, the aftermath of their divorce has been a journey of reflection, growth, and reinvention. Can they truly move on from the shadow of their once glamorous but tumultuous marriage? For Demi, the answer seems clear. She's already on her way to a new chapter. For Ashton, it's a bit more complicated. His silence may speak volumes, but it remains to be seen whether he'll continue to move forward without addressing the past head-on. What's undeniable is that both have weathered the storm and each is writing their own version of what comes next. So what do you think? Can Demi and Ashton truly leave their past behind, or is it something that will always follow them? Do you believe their personal struggles have shaped who they are today? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.